Hey everybody, it's me, Deborah Lee with Little Yellow Yarn. I want to thank you guys for tuning into my channel. If this is your first time joining us, feel free to subscribe to our channel, it's free, and click that notification bell for all of my latest videos on your favorite crafts. So today, crocheters rejoice, we're going to learn how to do a single crochet. So anybody who's starting your crochet journey, welcome, and I hope that it's a wonderful journey for you. And I just found a little piece of scrap yarn that was connected to this big skein. By the way, I got this at Walmart. I don't know if any of you have tried Mainstays yarn. It's not too bad. Not too bad. Considering the price, I know you see like the yarn has been knotted here, but that's something you could either snip off or hide in your work. So otherwise, I would recommend it for caps or anything you're making as a gift. It's really soft and the colors are really pretty. So no, I'm not affiliated with Walmart, but just a heads up if you guys are curious about Mainstays yarn. There we go. Alright, so let's get started on our single crochet. So I'm going to do a slip knot. If you guys are not familiar with the slip knot, I'm going to go ahead and put the link to how to do a slip knot up above. Alright, and I have here a rather small crochet hook. It is a 2.75 millimeter hook. You're welcome to use a bigger hook, especially if you're just starting to learn. I highly recommend using a 5 millimeter, which is definitely bigger than this one. I would say it's a size H if you're using a boy aluminum hook, or bigger than that. So here we go, guys. We have our slip knot. I've got my hook on there. I'm going to chain, I'm just throwing out a number there. I'm going to chain 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, whoops, that happens from time to time, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Alright, so the number is trivial, it's just for practice purposes, and so that way you guys understand what's going on as far as single crochet. It doesn't matter. When you're practicing, throw out any number. If you want to make your chain longer, go for it. If you want to make it shorter, that's fine too. Alright, so here we go. Whenever we're doing single crochet, we always want to skip that first chain next to our hook. Don't worry about the loop on the hook. It's this first chain. If you guys don't know how to chain, again, I'll throw up another link to how to chain up above, alright? So here we go. We're going to skip that first one and we're going to go immediately into that second chain from the hook. So with your least dominant hand, go ahead and pull on your chain. With your dominant hand, get your hook ready, and you're going to put it into that second chain from the hook. Alright? You're going to grab your yarn with your hook and pull it back towards you. So now you have 1, 2 loops on your hook. You're going to do what's called yarning over. You're going to yarn over and bring the yarn towards you, the way I do it, or some people will put their hook under. Either way, it's the same thing. And you're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull that yarn with the hook through those 2 loops. And you have just created your first single crochet. Woohoo! Congratulations, guys. Let's try it again. Alright, again, with your least dominant hand, hold on to your chain. With your dominant hand, get your hook ready. You're going to put it in, not into that hole that you see there, because that's part of your first single crochet. You're going to put it into that stitch immediately to the left of it. It looks kind of like a V shape. When you start doing your stitches, you'll get used to seeing what they look like. So I highly recommend chaining a whole bunch of times. So we're going to get our hook and put it immediately into that chain next to our single crochet that we just created. Go ahead and grab your yarn and pull it towards you. You now have 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over. You're going to, you notice that I'm pinching my chain just so that way it's secure and I know it's not going to go anywhere. And you're going to pull that yarn through the 2 loops. So you have officially created 2 single crochet. And this is what it looks like from the top. This is what it looks like from the side. They're little short stitches. Alright, let's do that again. So you now see 2 big holes, and you see a stitch immediately to the left with a small hole. Go into that stitch immediately to the left with the small hole. So take your hook, put it into that stitch, or that chain, grab your yarn, pull it through to you. You now have 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through those 2 loops. And that's it, guys. That's how you single crochet. So I'm going to end the rest of this chain, and I'm going to let you know a very important tip. Alright, so you notice I kind of lost my yarn there. I'm going to redo that stitch. That was not the tip, by the way. The tip is, whenever we're doing single crochet, how many single crochet, in this case, since I started with chain 11, do you think we're going to end up with at the end? If you answered 10 single crochet, then you are correct. Now if you're wondering why, and yes, I'm struggling here a little bit with the yarn and my hook, it's getting all tangled. If you're wondering why you end up with 10, it's because, remember at the beginning, we skipped that first chain. So that's why you end up with 10. So always keep that in mind when you're doing single crochet. You're always going to have 1 stitch less than what you started your chain with, okay? Just a good heads up, so that way whenever you're doing your pattern and you're like, oh my goodness, I started with, let's say, chain 11 and all of a sudden I have chain 10, what happened? I mean, yeah, 10 single crochet, what happened? Well, that's why, because you skipped that initial stitch, the initial chain. Alright, so notice, I know on one of my videos on how to wind up your yarn, when you're pulling from the middle it becomes a little fiddly because you're like moving your whole skein. So I always recommend, if you can, look for the yarn from the center of the skein. It's just easier. So let's count our single crochet stitches. We should have how many? Yes, 10. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, great job, guys. So remember, I always like to throw out the rule, try it 3 times. If it drives you crazy, take a break and come back and do it again. So you're probably wondering, what do you do after you've made that first row? Well, it depends what your pattern's telling you. But if you're making what's called a swatch, which literally is just a little piece that you count out your stitches to make your gauge. I don't want to get too technical right now, but you're just making a tiny little square or rectangle out of it, right? So you would do what's called chain 1, okay, and then you would turn your work. So notice that my work went from my left to my right, and now I'm going to keep my hook on there while turning the work from my right to my left. And then you'd simply start crocheting into the next stitch. So I'd do my single crochet, I'd put my hook through, pull that yarn towards me, have 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through the 2 loops. Put my hook into that next space, you can see right in there, right? And it goes immediately under, let me show you guys, immediately under that stitch. You're going to grab the yarn, pull it to you, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Put the hook into the next stitch, grab your yarn, pull to you, you have 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the 2 loops. And you keep repeating this all the way down, and this is how you can practice your single crochet once you have mastered, of course, how to chain. Remember, chaining is very important because that's going to give you the proper tension throughout your project. And then once you get that down, come on over to this video and learn how to single crochet. Now I'm going to finish this up, and I'm going to show you guys real quick what it looks like. You should still have 10 stitches across. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. Alright. So you can see here, you have 2 rows now of single crochet. We'll get into looking at rows later. I just want you guys to see that they're very short stitches. They're the smallest stitch along, well, the slip stitch is technically the smallest one, but this one is the smallest basic stitch you'll use throughout your patterns. Alright guys, if this video helped you out, go ahead and give me a big thumbs up, and I'm going to go ahead and provide those two links on how to slip knot and how to chain up above. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and remember to keep smiling and shine on. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.